Hey, my fellow dream chaser, welcome to the I Have a Dream Show platform, the #1 platform online for wealth and spiritual growth. I'm your host, Fizz, bringing you inspiring entrepreneurs to listen to the incredible journeys to success, the latest business and marketing strategies to apply to your business, and a huge dose of motivation to inspire you to keep on dreaming big and making your dreams a living reality. Enjoy! No, you're awesome. Thank you so much for coming onto the Dream Show today.
No problem. Thank you again. Thank you for having me. So it's my pleasure.
Absolutely wonderful. No, Neil, can we kind of take you back? I mean, you've been very, you've been kind of an extraordinary child, haven't you? I mean, you started a job quite young. You've had parents that are entrepreneurs too? Can you tell us a bit about your background, how it all started for you?
Yeah, so I started off when I was young. My first job was cleaning toilets, picking up trash at the age of 15 and a half, somewhere around there. And then other than that, let's see, I want to be an entrepreneur because I want to become rich. That was the only way. Although I don't care for money as much now, I realize it doesn't necessarily make you happy.
Right.
My mom she had a daycare business, never made a ton of money, but she had entrepreneurship run in her veins. All her brothers, etc., were all entrepreneurs. So, yeah, that's how I got my start. Just kept trying. I didn't really succeed or start making decent money until I was in my early 20s, but kept cranking away.
Why didn't you go down the education route? I mean, I think you're Asian. Are you Asian? Is that right?
That's correct. I'm Indian.
Right, you usually would have become a doctor or a dentist or an engineer or something. I mean, that's quite unusual for them to support you and encourage you to be an entrepreneur. I mean, how did you get out that one, or were your parents quite different, or how did that?
Well, when I was 16, I was making around somewhere around 20,000 a month.
Right.
So it was enough for my parents. They still made me go to college. They're like, no girl's going to ever marry if you don't get a college degree. So they made me go to college.
Yes.
But the money was decent at the time, so they let me be an entrepreneur.
Oh, excellent. Right. So what do you think they inspired you then? Did they give you that? Because they say that entrepreneurs are naturally entrepreneurs, but does your environment help you then to encourage you?
I learned a lot from my parents.
So they have been good kind of role models for you then and encouraged you, right?
That's correct.
Isn't that an easy way though?
It's not necessarily easy.
In a way that it's not challenging if you've got it. Then if you've got how did you push yourself to go further in a way? Because when you've got a bit of a challenge as entrepreneurs, you kind of like you've got that strength to, right, I'm going to prove them wrong. How did you kind of grow?
Well, my challenge was I was poor, and I didn't have enough money, and I was trying to make more, right?
Right.
I was picking up trash and cleaning restrooms. I wanted to be rich. I didn't get a ton of money. I wasn't poor either. I was middle class, right, is where I grew up. I chose to clean restrooms. My parents didn't make me work. They gave me their family car. They paid for college, so my life wasn't that hard. But the challenge is I wanted to be a millionaire. And to be a millionaire, I knew I wasn't going to be able to do it following the route my parents wanted me to take.
Right, excellent. So where did it begin for you then? Did you start up your company? How did you get the idea? Why didn't you just help your parents? What made you go separate on your own path?
Well, my mom was a daycare teacher. There's no way I was going to be a daycare teacher.
Right.
I just do not enjoy that. My dad wasn't an entrepreneur. He worked for some large corporations in mortgages. So he was like a loan processor.
Right. Okay. So what happened then? How did you get what did you start with? What did you start doing as an entrepreneur?
Internet marketing. I started helping people grow their traffic online. I started my own website. When it went up, I thought you would just naturally get traffic. I realized it doesn't work that way. So I had to learn how to get traffic. And that's when I got good at internet marketing because I had no choice but to learn it due to the lack of capital, and I couldn't just keep hiring people to help me out.
Right. Okay. And did you say you required capital to start that? I mean, how did you overcome that? Did you borrow money, or how did you?
I just worked and I paid for it myself.
You paid for it yourself, right? Okay. So, I mean, where does this? What I'm trying to get at is where does this drive come from? because it is hard. You're young, you're quite young, and
I really wanted to be rich.
you just
That's
wanted to be rich.
yeah, I just wanted to be rich really bad.
Right. So what happened after that? How did you what was your kind of what happened with that company? Did it grow? Was it successful? How did that pan out?
The consulting company worked out. I gave a speech class in college while I was in high school. I was taking some nighttime college classes as well.
Right.
And the first one was Speech 101, in which I would give a speech and I talked about how Google worked and how to get traffic from it. Someone in the class was like, oh, I work for this large company. They're looking for someone who knows this. You want to just work for them. And after driving them, I think I was driving like 25 million or whatever in revenue. They were paying me like 3,000 something a month. I thought I was just like making a ton of money.
Right.
I was making them a lot of money. And the owner's son of the business had an ad agency, and he introduced me to quite a few other larger corporations. And next thing you know, I was a little kid making $20,000 a month.
Excellent. So handling that type of money, did that expand your mind then? Was that kind of it's like it hits you, doesn't it? It's like, wow, there's so much money people are making. It's like it encourages you more, doesn't it?
It does, and I didn't really get to see the money because my dad took control of it all, right? So he didn't spend it or anything like that, but he was a bookkeeper, so he just wanted to make sure I didn't waste it.
Right. So what happened then? What did you do after that? I mean, because I know that there were a couple of challenges when I was reading up about you. They said that you had a really big fall of $1 million or something. Is that in the same company or was that after or?
Well, when you start making money as a kid, I got greedy. I tried to do everything under the moon. I tried creating a cloud hosting company. I invested $1 million with other people, and that was just a wash. I just lost all the money.
Right. And is that because of the partnerships? Because were you were you okay making partners?
I was bad at picking them. I'm good
Right.
now, but I ended up investing money in people who stole it. Like they had cancer and all this, and I just kept giving money. They saw me as a 21-year-old kid, right? So I
Obviously.
just like, kept feeding them money, and next thing you know, I even bought the house that they lived in. I don't know why.
Right.
But they're just like, oh, buy us this house. Like I just kept giving them more money.
The thing is, if anyone's young here listening, like if they're under 20 or whatever, and they want to be entrepreneurs, what do they have to look out for? Because it is a very tender age and there are kind of sharks out there, and, how do you be careful of being taken seriously? I think that's another thing as well, being taken seriously at such a young age, especially if you're creative and you've got lots of ideas. How do you actually push forward and be taken seriously?
Well, the way you do that is you just keep focusing on creating a good product or good service. That's where people will start respecting you. When it comes to not being taken advantage of, you just need to keep getting advice from other people who you trust. And they'll give you feedback and they'll help guide you. Age
Right.
is just a number. The way I look at it is it's all about learning. It doesn't matter if you're 16 or 50 or even 80. You just got to keep learning, look for guidance, and try to create awesome products or services.
Excellent. So, with that hit, Neil, how did you deal with it? Was it quite emotional? How
It
did you
was.
overcome that?
Now I'm really, it was very emotional, right? Because I've never dealt with it in my life at that point. It was stressful. But I'm used to all that kind of stuff, and I'm used to handling high volumes of stress. I don't get too emotional, um, which is kind of a bad thing too, because even in my personal life, I don't get emotional at all, right? So I'm
Right.
very black and white, pretty cutthroat. But it's changed me, right? So it's like business is a harsh world. It's a dog eat dog world, and I've learned to adapt.
Right. Okay. Because that hit, I think that probably grew you as a person as well, didn't it? Because the harder the hit, the stronger you become, right?
Yeah.
So do you think it was a good thing then? Do you see any goodness come out of that? Because, people start complaining, this has happened or that's happened or, that's gone wrong. But I always think, look at the bigger picture. What is it preparing you for? I mean, now, if you didn't go through those certain things that you did, do you think you'll be the person that you are today?
No, of course not. But it may have made me more successful or less successful. I don't know.
Yes.
Uh, I just say life is life, and whatever happens, go with it. It's like someone gives you lemons, you make lemonade out of it.
Yes. Right. So what happened after that then? So did you start up different companies, or did you venture out? What happened with your business?
So I just kept cranking along and stuck with consulting because it's what I knew. And eventually I decided to get into software because it was more scalable. So I created a few software companies.
Right, okay. And so, I mean, you said that you started speaking at college. Do you think this is kind of a breakthrough area for people to actually try and get as many speaking engagements as possible to get your message out there, or your products? Because sitting at home behind a computer, behind a website, providing services, I mean, so many people can see it. They don't really know who you are. So do you think getting yourself exposed is good?
Yeah, no, I think speaking's great. The only reason I spoke when I was in college is because my class was Speech 101. It's where you have to give speeches.
All right.
The teacher makes you make calls. But I was a big bullshitter. I think one of my speeches was how I celebrate the dead during Thanksgiving, right? And I don't even know how I came up with that. He's like, pick a topic. I'm like, let's just do Thanksgiving because it was around that time. He's like, there has to be something unique. And I don't know what I came up with, but I was like, oh yeah, we celebrate the dead during Thanksgiving. He's like, okay, that'll work. But I'm pretty creative when I have to be. Not as creative as I used to be, but
That's awesome. But now, I mean, you're sharing stages with like really, top marketers, and they really are inspired by you. I've seen the way that, everyone just kind of goes crazy and silent when you're talking. How do you manage to get to that stage of captivating very influential people?
uh, you just you just keep doing what you're doing. If you get good at something, people will eventually end up recognizing it.
Right. So is it because you've been very consistent and you've just mastered what you know? Is that what it is?
I'm extremely consistent and I don't give up.
And you don't give up. Right, right. Okay, you okay, that's brilliant. Right, guys, keep the questions coming in. I'll take them in very, very shortly. I just got to dig into Neil's mind a little bit more because he hasn't opened up very much. So, so I'm going to open him up a bit more. Right, Neil, tell me, okay, when you are starting and when you get an idea, because I've noticed about you, you have got a lot of knowledge when it comes to not just your area, but a lot of open knowledge in the marketplace, what's actually going on in the market. How are you the first one to know what's going on? How do you keep your antennae open? Is it through networking? Is it through meeting people in the industry? How do you do it?
It's by networking a lot and it's by reading a lot.
Reading a
So
lot, right?
I network a lot and I experiment a lot as well. Just those three things helps me determine what's happening.
Right, right, right. Okay. As an entrepreneur, we're creative people, right? And once we have an idea and no one accepts it, perhaps, or it's harder to get people's head
Yeah.
around. What is the line where you can actually say, okay, keep going because you believe in the product and service, or kind of like, back off a little bit? It's not something that anyone wants.
So
What is the line there?
yeah, I base it off attraction. You get something out, you get traction, you keep going. If you can't get traction, you keep adjusting until you do. If you don't, after a while, you can just throw it away and move on to the next. I also look at market research. I don't care what one person says, I care what a lot of people say. So if a lot of people in this space are saying it sucks, then I either have to adjust the idea or throw it away.
Right, okay, so you do actually measure the response of people quite a lot then. I mean, because there is some times when you think, I can do this, I can get people to believe in my idea, but really, you have to be real. I mean, what is the line there where you have to kind of say, look, no, this is not something that is going to work. So is it measuring for a period of time then?
That's correct. So like I just keep measuring and getting feedback, right? To me, it's all about like the lean startup approach. It's you have to try to get to product market fit as quick as possible, get feedback from customers, potential customers, and then go from there.
Excellent, excellent. Right, okay, so I'm going to take a couple of questions, right? So we've got a couple of questions that are quite specific to businesses. So if we can kind of just take one from, I've got Shelley here, right? So hold on, let me just see if Shelley's online, if she made it to the show. She left it at the last show. She's like, please answer. Okay, Neil, when a lot of people start online, they don't usually have their own products. and they tend to become affiliates of other people's products, like network marketers or online marketers or whatever. So her question was, thank you, Shirley, for asking this. It's a really important one, I think. How do you position yourself so you stand out from the other marketers that are much more experienced if you're new, and how do you kind of offer the same products differently?
Okay, so she's an affiliate. What is she trying to figure out?
She's asking how can she be different when reselling something when there's thousands of other distributors as well of the same product in the marketplace.
The ones who usually give the most detailed reviews and write the best content around the product tend to do the best.
Right. So is it best to kind of really understand what the product's about, and is there any specific marketing strategies that you can give her?
Write content. So try to come up with the best content. For example, go there and try to write content about lipsticks. Which lipstick lasts the longest? So I'll take a piece of paper. Keep in mind, I don't know lipstick that well. Put unique on there. Put lipstick A, lipstick B, lipstick C. I don't know lipstick brands. And see which one lasts the longest in the sun. And you'd be like, oh, unique lasts the longest, or lipstick B lasts the longest. And here's, click here to buy it. I would also talk about price and material. Like, you can put on some delicate fabric. And like, look, unique didn't tear through the fabric, but lipstick B just ate it away. It's like acid, right?
Excellent, right. So this is what I mean, guys. Out of the box thinking. This is what I love about Neil. Okay, Neil. On that note, right? I've actually done a course where I've actually explained to people to think out of the box a bit, right? So I said the restaurants, for instance, people want to see what's actually going on in the kitchen, like videos and things like that, rather than actually the restaurant focusing on the menu. Would you agree with me, where people actually want more human experience of businesses?
Yes, people want more human experiences by far. Everyone likes that personal touch. Can't always get it, but they do like it. That's also one of the main reasons people go into the Apple store. They love that human connection.
That human connection. So a lot of businesses, if they're offline, then to bring them online, do you think any certain platforms that they can actually, I mean, Instagram's quite cool when it comes to, taking pictures of someone in a restaurant, with their, knife out or something, about to kill the other person, or
Instagram, Facebook, managing your Yelp pages, all the way from having a creative about page on your website, right? All those things help create a personal experience.
Excellent. Okay, right. So now another thing, Neil, is about, I love the way that you talk about growth hacking. So speed of implementation and speed of success. So like taking shortcuts in a way, but very, very smart shortcuts, like you leveraging networks, other people's databases, things like that, to grow businesses and joint ventures. So can we speak a little bit more about how can a small business leverage a big network to grow their products or get more exposure to their product? Can you give a scenario, something like that?
Yes, all partnerships. And so like we leverage Facebook. The way we leverage Facebook is we find out who our potential customers are going to that are competing products or big companies, and we do targeted ads, right? That's a great way of leveraging a larger company or a platform out there. If GoDaddy has all our customers, we can strike up deals with GoDaddy and say, hey, if you upsell our product upon checkout, we'll give you X percentage of the revenue. Those are all examples of how you can actually leverage some of these larger corporations. And they're all open to it. If you can create something that benefits them, they're definitely open to it.
So how would you propose them? How would they take a small business seriously like that? Does your offer have to be really, really good? I mean, how do you come up with an offer?
Well, you just have to come up with something that benefits you, and more importantly, benefits and values their customer as well. So like, It has to be a win-win relationship, and that's where most people go wrong. They just try to create something that benefits them. And yeah, even if your solution benefits the other company, does it benefit them more than what they're already offering? So you have to give them something better than what's already making them money.
Right, excellent, excellent, excellent. Right, okay, we've got another question coming from Elisa. Thank you, Elisa, for joining the I Have a Dream show. Um, she's asking, right, she's asking that she's never been able to outsource the right people. She's always got the wrong people. I've had this problem. She's always working with the wrong people that slow her business down. Is there any tips that you can give when it comes to outsourcing work that it doesn't take her that much effort to kind of explain it or tidy up their mess, basically?
Hire people who are more qualified. It may cost you more, but it'll save you more time and money in the long run.
So invest more in their like, you know.
Yeah. If you're looking for someone who's affordable, then she has to hire a ton of them, and eventually she'll find one that works out and then cut off the rest.
Right, excellent. Okay. Right, okay, well, right. So the next question, let's go to the next questions. Right, when it comes to you know, when you talk to influential people, I've noticed that you don't actually go for the closing the deal. You know, you kind of go around and speak to them. You build relationships with them. Can you talk a bit how important that is to you, like using you know, things that they can relate to rather than just business? You know, how do you build friendships with influential people?
Yeah, it's actually just trying to A, help them out, and B, bond with them, right? Just like you would with any friend, have small talk about other stuff, their life, find out how they're doing. But it starts off with helping them out. Find out how you can help them out, give them a lot of value, and don't ask for anything in exchange. That's the first step.
Right. Don't ask for anything in exchange, yeah? So how do you carry that relationship on then? Because they're very busy people. So
You
how
just
would you?
you just keep hitting them up and giving them free info and helping them out. Eventually, like after months of doing that, then you ask them for something, and they're much more likely to
So
pay.
it's a long process. You have to think long term, right? Long term relationship building. It's really big in this industry, isn't it?
That's correct.
Right, excellent. Okay, well, we've got a question coming from Andrew, and Andrew is saying that when it comes to obviously a new person with a smaller budget online, how does how do you get people coming to your website with the best strategies if you've got a small budget?
So if you have a small budget, how do you get people to come to your website?
Yes.
I would start with content marketing or guest posting. Write content on other people's blog and just try to like benefit them and see what happens.
So guest posting, right?
That's correct. I have this whole article on QuickSprout. If you just Google QuickSprout guest posting, there'll be a lot of articles that teach you how to do it.
Right. Okay. Excellent. Right. Okay. So Neil, tell us something about yourself then. What are your interests? I mean, outside of business, you must do other things, right? I mean, what? Tell us a bit more about who Neil is. I mean, is he who we see on stage? Is he who we see on videos?
So I'm OCD.
Is
Yeah,
he right?
I don't know that. I won't take off my shoes at the airport. Uh, what else about me?
Do you like traveling alone?
I don't mind traveling alone. Sometimes I bring people along, like friends or family or whoever else. What else? I
What
enjoy
about
the.
reflection? What about reflection? Do you reflect a lot? Do you meditate? I mean, how do you get the best out of yourself each day?
I just keep working. I just try to accomplish more than the previous day, and that's it. I'm naturally a hard worker. I don't have a problem working. My problem is I don't make enough time for all the other stuff in life.
Right. What about friends and stuff? Because I know as an entrepreneur, you know, some people you get to leave behind, and it's kind of painful because they don't really understand where you
Well,
are.
all my friends are entrepreneurs.
Sorry, you're just friends with entrepreneurs. But
Almost
even then, you know, sometimes you have to say no. You know that you haven't
almost
got
all my
time.
friends are entrepreneurs who are well off.
What's that?
Almost all my friends are entrepreneurs who are well off.
Right. Okay. They all laugh. Right. Okay. But do
Yeah,
you?
it
So
makes things easy, right? There's no ever fighting about money or issues or problems. We have fun together.
yes.
There's entrepreneurs who are in our group as well who aren't well off, right? It's just friendship. Like if we enjoy someone's company, that's all that matters. We don't care if they're an entrepreneur or if they want to be a janitor and pick up trash all day. Like we don't care as long as they're fun, we're happy.
Right, excellent. And how do you keep growing then? How do you keep growing your mind? I mean, what do you do personally
I
to
read a
help?
lot. I read a lot. I experiment a lot. I'm at work. I go to conferences.
What do you read? What do you read? What do you read in your spare
I
time?
read a lot. I read The Economist. I read TechCrunch. I read sites.
Right, okay. So you love books then, right?
I can do websites. I'm not reading books.
Right, okay. So what is it, audiobooks?
I like audiobooks. I only read websites like The Economist.
Oh, on websites, right, okay. And where do you like going? Is there any specific places that you want to see in the world? I mean, have you seen most places? What kind of experiences do you like in life?
I love traveling. I travel at least once a week, but I've seen most places. Like you're in Europe and everywhere from like Paris to London to Monaco to Italy, right, to even Poland, the Czech Republic. I've been to most places. So at least in Europe, America, Canada. I haven't done too much South America. I haven't done much Africa, but I've done the rest of the continents.
Right. And tell me a life-changing experience that you've had that you remember to this day and you're like, whoa, that's crazy.
So I haven't had one big life-changing lesson is maybe a while ago. It could have been the $1 million mistake. That was life. But I learned that ideas are a dime a dozen. It's really about execution.
Okay, and where do you get your ideas, Neil?
Where do I get my ideas?
Yeah, where do they come from? I mean, do they come in the shower or do they come like while you're driving or is there any kind of
Anytime in the
spout?
day, anytime. Seriously, there's some good things in the shower when I'm eating or when I'm eating breakfast. All I do is think about work.
Always active. You're always active, right?
Yes, with work.
Okay, excellent. Right now, this kind of show was around you know the kind of record that you've had. I don't know if sorry if this is the best record or like 5 million visitors to a website, right? In 3 months. So can we talk a little bit about that? A few strategies if we can share. What did you actually learn in that process? How did that kind of figure come about? And how did you do that?
After 5 million visitors in 2 months.
To a website in 3 months? Is that did I get that right?
Oh, the Gawker Media case study.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. The way I ended up doing that was purely through SEO. So their on-page code, the way they were cross-linking posts together, it was all done terribly wrong. Their title tags, meta tags, a lot of them were duplicate. I just went in there and fixed code. It was actually really easy.
Right, okay.
What most people don't know, it's easy to grow a big business and make them incrementally larger. It's hard to take a brand new business who has no traction and make them big.
Right. Okay, that's fine. All right, brilliant. So, Neil, tell us about, I mean, tell us more. Tell us more, because you're giving me like one-worded answers, and I'm like, whoa, okay. I need to get more out of you. You know, I need to know what's going on in Neil's mind. You know, I need to know what makes you so strong. What makes you so strong? Because I mean, I feel that you're way over your age. You know, I mean, it's like you're quite mature. You've grown up quite fast. You're very wise. I've noticed that you're very wise for your age. I mean, what's the secret? What is it? Is it the people you hang out with? I mean, does that influence you?
Most of my friends are
Sorry, they're older.
yes, that helps. They're entrepreneurs I've learned from. I also myself make a lot of mistakes I have in the past, so I've learned from those. Uh, that's mainly it. Like, the reason I think I'm tough is that after so many years of being an entrepreneur, you end up becoming cutthroat. At least I have, because I made so many mistakes and been burned so many times, right? Like I'm cutthroat with anything, even like if personal relationships. I'm sadly not emotional enough, right? Because I've been an entrepreneur for so many years. Their life becomes black and white for me. It shouldn't be, but that's how I am.
Does that happen? Because I've noticed when entrepreneurs they become very strong, but emotionally, they tend to kind of shut down a little bit when it comes to personal relationships. I mean, how do you keep a balance then?
I don't have a balance.
Do you not have anyone in your life like at the moment? Have you looked about settling? I don't know how old you are, but usually Asians tend to want to get you settled down, right?
Yeah. So I don't like being down. I'm only 29. I think I've another 10, 15 years. And my mom wants me to have a steady girlfriend and try all of that versus just going like versus just dating and seeing whatever happens and enjoying life. But I don't want to get married or anything like that. Like I like my life.
You like it is now.
I
Brilliant.
love being single. Like I don't like the concept of relationships. I've done relationships before, but I prefer being single.
Being single, right? Excellent. Okay, now we've got a question coming in from Mark. He's saying, Neil, is there anything about the industry you don't like?
Industry I don't like. I would say no, I actually like it. There's not much.
Is there anything that you find like there needs improvement or like they should have some changes that could?
No, one thing I don't like about a lot of the tech world is patents. I think patents favor innovation, and I think innovation benefits consumers more than anyone else.
Okay. Are you going to write a book, Neil?
I'm working on it at the moment.
What's the book about? What would it be about?
You'll have to wait and see.
You have to wait and see.
About entrepreneurship and hacking life and succeeding.
Excellent, excellent. So where do you see yourself then in okay, as you are on the I Have a Dream show, can I ask you what your dream is?
So I would say my dream is it's really living a stress-free and happy life. Like that's it. I think I'll get there maybe in 20, 30 years. But just enjoying life. I don't really have like too many ambitions. Oh, I have one dream. I want to create $100 million a year company that does revenue of 100 a year. That's all self-funded, so no investors, none of that. I think that would be a fun goal that I'm working on.
Absolutely fantastic, excellent. Well, that should inspire you people. But so Neil, I mean, now you've seen the money, now you've lived. You've experienced the material kind of gain, and you've gone to many places. You've met a lot of people. What is life about to you then? I mean, where does the real kind of, the satisfaction for a human, where does it really lie? I mean, you can buy as many cars as you want, you can buy as many houses as you want, you can go and buy whatever you want, right? But where does the ultimate happiness lie?
It's putting a smile on your face. So when you smile or anyone else smiles, and I help cause that, that makes me happy. It's really simple for me. I'm like a really person. I wear white shirts or t-shirts all day, and I wear slacks all day. Like that's it. Like my life is very simplistic. What makes me happy is putting a smile on other people's face, and no drama. I don't have drama in my life. If someone brings drama, I just cut them out of my life.
Excellent. So it's more about like having simplicity, a clear mind, just being very. I mean, what type of conversations make you happy? And for instance, like, I mean, what do you find inspiring?
I love having conversations about business, entrepreneurship, whatever's happening in the world, and what inspires me is people doing really cool stuff and innovative things. Like if someone builds a hyperloop, right, like Elon Musk, talked about, that would be cool. I'd be like, this would be awesome.
Right, okay. So new ideas coming to action, when you see them in action, that kind of makes you wow, right? And, right, I have to read this question out from a girl called Safina. She actually wanted this. She couldn't make it to the live show, but she emailed me this. She said, this is the last kind of business question for you, Neil, right? The best marketing method to drive traffic to online e-commerce store, and what would be the best traffic method for that?
Shopping people. So most e-commerce websites are all the time from their own site. You can do Facebook, you can do all those types of advertising platforms, but Shopping Feeds converts really well. Shopping Feeds put your product in like Google Shopping, Amazon, all these types of places. that already have the visitors that are searching, and it'll actually drive you a ton of sales.
That's brilliant. Thank you so much. Okay, well, Neil. Okay, this the purpose of the show is for someone to, if they haven't already, but to have one message on the show that they can actually take away that inspires, it makes an impact on their personal and business life that actually transcends to generations. So I'm looking for them to have a huge breakthrough today, right? If they haven't already, and to actually, you know, apply on their business, personal and business life. And what would that one thing be if you wanted to, if you got the opportunity now to share that?
If you follow your dreams and passion. And here's the reason. A lot of people try to do stuff for money. You don't make money by trying to make money. It's really hard. You make money by solving problems, and money is the side effect. Now, what you'll find is, whether you're working for someone or doing business or any of that, when you follow your passion, you're much more likely to succeed. Reason being is you'll work more hours, you'll work harder, you'll work more efficiently, you'll keep at it, you won't get burned out. When you're doing something just purely for the income and you're not passionate about it, eventually you'll want to quit, you'll get bored of it, right? So you got to really follow your passion.
That's absolutely beautiful. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much for your questions. I'm sorry I haven't been able to take them all. So Neil, I mean, so what are we going to see of you now? I mean, you've got websites up, they're running, they're helping people. There's product services that are serving the market. You know, you're well positioned. What is coming up for you now? I mean, what do we see more of you? How do we see you in the next few years?
I'll create more software companies, keep adapting the ones that I already have, and grow them, and that's mainly it.
Yeah, awesome stuff.
I'm just trying to grow what I have.
Okay, hold on. One more question. This one is actually saying, please, please, please. Right. Okay, so hold on. We've got Harsh. Is it a good idea for a starting entrepreneur to start helping out others without getting established themselves? That's a very good question, actually.
Yeah, nothing wrong with it. You should be able to do it. I will.
Yeah, so you can actually, without actually having a position in the market, you can actually start helping people.
That's correct. If you want to help people, you should always help them.
And according to Neil, what is the next big trend?
So I don't know what the big trend is. I think the next big trend of online marketing is, and that is content marketing.
A lot of emphasis on content marketing, don't you? I mean, do you think it's about, is it the information age then? Is that why? I
do. I really do believe it is.
It's information. What about video then? What is that? Would you include video?
Even this, with me here right now, this is content marketing.
So giving people information, making it easier. Because another thing, Neil, right? Everything's out there already, like most of the stuff. So is it because you can explain it better or make it easier for someone to understand through your products? Or how would you actually gather? Is it a good idea to gather information from different sources and put it together in your own words? And then, I mean, there could be a good way of you explaining it rather than someone else explaining it.
That's correct. Yeah. The way I see it is just, it doesn't matter how you want to explain it, just make sure it's easy for anyone to understand. If a 5-year-old can understand it, you're good.
Right, keep it as simple as possible. Simplify. That's brilliant. So as I said, thank you very much, guys. Dream big, take those massive action. As you said, Neil said it today as well, you know, follow your passion. If you're not following your passion in your business, I think you're just wasting your time. All these things that come up, all these challenges and things like that come up, you can overcome them when you're actually enjoying what you're doing. And it's not all about money, it's about serving people as well. That's what I will say too. Hey fellow dream chaser, it's Fizz again. Did you love the show? If so, why not become part of a great community of dream chasers from around the world and share your ideas and strategies with each other? We'd love to have you join us. Go to www.ihaveadreamshow.tv/dream-chasers. You can join for free. And don't forget to leave a comment, subscribe so you never miss an episode, and share with your friends. Now keep those dreams alive, take action on the information you've learned today, and make your dreams a living reality. Catch you again on the next episode.